This thing on? Oh, I thought they silenced us yet. Rumble, young man, rumble. Life is a trip, so sometimes we gon' stumble. You gotta go through pain in order to become you. But once the world numbs you, you'll feel like it's only one you.
Do it better than anybody you ever seen. Do it scream from the haters. Got a nice ring too. So excited.
Well, good evening and welcome to Texas National Bank Field at Bobby Lackey Stadium, where tonight K-West brings you Weslaco East Wildcat football. It is district play. Your Wildcats began district last week and they won their opener in Donna. They come home for their first district game and they're taking on PSJA Memorial, who was off last week and is barely starting their district run tonight. I am Joe Aguilar. I'll bring you all of tonight's action and joined by popular demand, Football Fred.
Hey, this is gonna be fun, huh? A team in white that hasn't won their first district game yet. And we're talking earlier, kidding around really, but they were here by mid-afternoon. They were ready to get started to play this game. Weslaco, as you mentioned, big win last week, right? So now, how do they respond? Hey, this is a team that wants to run, but they kind of spread you out a little different. So we'll see how that kind of turns out. But yes, can they win game number 2 of the early district season here?
Well, Tony Caso is tonight's referee. He's got both teams down there, giving them instruction for tonight's flip. And he's taking a little long, but here we go.
He wants to explain things, didn't he? He's just, hey, if you get to pick one. Guys, it's gonna be, yeah, you guys pick. You guys were here earlier, so you guys get to pick what it is.
Here we go. He's got his mic on.
PSJA Memorial has won the toss and will defer their choice to the second half.
Well, there you have it. PSJA Memorial did win the toss. They deferred for the second half, so that means that the Wildcats will begin with the ball tonight. As you were mentioning, PSJA has not yet played a game, so therefore they have not yet won a game. But they've dropped their first 2 non-district games, just like Weslaco East did drop the first 2. You know, and then of course, you know, during that time of the year, you really want to just get things rolling, see what's working, what's not working, see which kids are going to perform where, and all that good stuff. But you know, Weslaco in those 2 losses looked mighty good.
Yeah, they were putting up points. I remember talking to you about it last week, as a matter of fact.
They did.
Yeah, how they can put up points. So that's going to be the key here tonight. You know, they got to keep that going. You know, their defense showed up last week as well, right? For the Wildcats. Can that continue at a team again? Just keep in mind, PSJA Memorial, under really the first time we talked to Omar Gonzalez, the new head coach there at PSJA Memorial. He wants to run the ball. We talked about that, but he wants to spread it. It's a little different type of a run. So is the Weslaco defense obviously going to see something different than they saw last week, where they just wanted to run, pound you basically up the middle and outside and stuff. We'll see what PSJA brings, but this should be fun, Joe. This should really be fun.
It's going to be a good one. The Wildcats are averaging 287 yards on the ground compared to PSJA Memorial's 126. They are ready to kick the ball away. It's going to be Humberto Ansaldúa kicking it back deep. Jay Herrera for the Wildcats. And it's going to be fielded by Devon Burnias over on the right side at about the 12-yard line. And he's hit hard and brought down by Vicente Robles. And here is the starting offense for your Wildcats.
Aiden Gonzalez, Elias Rodriguez, Yolam Pineda, Rudy Villegas, Devin Burnias, Jay Herrera, Joe Barrera, Jacob Zuniga, JD Sanchez, Brian Vera, Luben Garcia.
Mental health and well-being begins with Dr. Daniel Lozano, former athlete and proud alum of Weslaco ISD.
Wildcats come out on the field for offense in their first offensive possession, 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line. They're going to hand the ball off to Rodriguez. He's got a big hole across the 30-35 to the 36-yard line. We'll see where they spot it. It'll be either 9 or 10 yards on his first carry.
Yeah, Christian Rivera had to come up from his safety/defensive backfield spot, as you'll see him here, number 2. has to go low, and he's out of position there. He's got to have to come back inside, but after a nice healthy gain there.
9 yards is what they are going to give Rodriguez. 2nd and 1. Pistol formation for your Wildcats. They got Rodriguez in the backfield as the only running back there. They'll send Burnias in motion. They'll hand it off to Rodriguez again, and again he's going to push forward. He's going to pick up 4 yards, this time to the 40. That's going to move the chains for your Wildcats.
Yeah, big first down. Jonathan Basurto, the defensive lineman junior, number 40 there, trying to come and make a play. Take that, number 10. See, right off of his defensive end spot, saw it coming, and he was able to slow him down, but not after a first down. So this defense here, you're going to see early on, they are going to give you 4 down linemen. Sometimes they'll give you a 3-man front, but right now they're showing 4.
So it's 1st and 10 for your Wildcats. Ball at the 40-yard line. Again, this time Jay Herrera in motion. They'll toss it to him. He's got some room across midfield into Memorial territory, and he's going to take it to the house. A 60-yard TD run by Jay Herrera.
My goodness. Lightning struck first by your Wildcats. Wow. Impressive job there. Look at the corner. You hear about set the corners. And that's what you got to do. Outside, you got to make sure he's got everybody blocking for him. Big for look at Elias Rodriguez and some of the other guys to set those corners. And all you have to do now is, Jay Herrera, use your speed, which he has. Use your vision to find that hole. And then the rest, well, that's 6 points.
On the attempt, the extra point is Alejo's. Good hold by Gonzalez. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 10:35 to go here in the opening quarters, Wildcats 7, Memorial 0. You know, you're talking about the corner.
Yep.
You saw Burnias, you saw Rodriguez come and seal that corner, which allowed Herrera to turn up the field and run south.
Yeah, he just needs to crease. As a matter of fact, in last week's broadcast, you mentioned it. I remember that word you said, crease. He needs one. And as long as you give him that little crease, that little lane, he'll find it. And he's got that ability, that home run ability that we've been talking about, that we see with Jay. It's one of those things where he just has that ability. And so that's going to be a key here all night. How can the Wolverines adjust to that? They're coming downhill. So now how do you adjust? 4-man line maybe isn't the thing. Maybe we got to go to 3 and get more linebackers back there. We'll see what Coach Gonzalez does. But yeah, first very good positive start for your Wildcats.
Yeah, I was talking with Jay Herrera's dad before the game out in the stadium, and he was excited about tonight's game, asking me how they matched up against the Wolverines. I said they match up really well, and I like what we have when we face the Wolverines. So, and that looked good. Here's Alejo with the kick. It's going to go in the direction of the return man. And did he make contact with it?
I think he did, Joe, just because of the official is not. If he would have touched it, that would have been, obviously a flag.
Right. And that's what I was waiting for. That was Vicente Lopez out there. And when you're running that close to the sideline, you just got to let it go.
We'll see it here. Yeah, he did touch it, didn't he? Yeah, he did touch it before it went out of bounds. The official's like, no, you might have touched your glove there.
Yeah, he tried to play it off like he didn't.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Wolverines at their own 5-yard line. Quarterback is Nolan Ramirez. Hands the ball off to the only back in the backfield. That is Miguel Olvera. He is their leading rusher so far this season.
Yeah, he's going to be the guy it's going to be featured here tonight. As a matter of fact, a lot of yards. You'll see it here why. Just kind of follows his block, wants to go, again, down here. They want to run the ball. We said this earlier. They do it a little different. He come quickly. They were trying to get off the line, but there's flags all over the place. They were trying to get one quick one,
Threw it out there to Matthew Garza. That lands incomplete.
Number 28 of the defense. 5-yard penalty. It's going to be a first down.
Automatic first down.
And they were going quick, and it looks like they just Weslaco was just off sides there.
Yeah, we were talking about Olvera being their leading rusher. He's rushed for 146 yards in their first 2 games.
Yeah.
So he's averaging about 73 per game, and he's the only back in the backfield with the quarterback, Ramirez. 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen, and it's going to be a pitch to Olvera, and that did not fool the Wildcats. Out there quickly was Alan Alejos along with Santiago Flores, and they brought him down.
Excellent read. And that was a high pitch. Could have been dangerous there. But look at the Wildcats attack. we've started to see this now, even from last week, how they're able to adjust to the running game. And then, Coach Guzman has done a fine job of fine-tuning this defense.
Ramirez rolling out to his right, looking for a receiver, gets rid of it in the direction of Garza, and that's a catch really close to the line to gain. We'll see where they spot it.
Yeah, he's going to be the go-to guy, besides, obviously, Miguel Olvera, who you were just talking about. When it comes down to passing, they want to get it out to the young junior. He's one of their playmakers. He's one of those guys that if you get him the ball, good things might happen. And we'll give you a short, what is it, a 3rd and short maybe?
Yeah, 3rd and a yard.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got, we'll go to his stats in a little bit, but the quarterback going to keep it, and he's not going to get much. If anything, he might get to the stick.
Yeah, that's Nolan Ramirez. We mentioned him on the outside, the senior. Not too many seniors on this team.
And he did get it.
Yeah, he got it. So Nolan, talking to the coach Gonzalez about him, he was a defensive player last year, so he kind of had to learn this position. Nolan Ramirez, the senior quarterback, number 12. It's hard to change when you've majority of your career you've been playing on the defense, and now you're the quarterback. But he's done well.
Yeah, 2 backs in the backfield. Again, Olvera, the ball carrier, and he's going to be hit by the linebacker and brought down at the 31-yard line. That's Alejos with the tackle once again. You talk about him coming from the defensive side of the ball. The only thing that scares me when that happens is the athleticism that these kids have.
Yeah.
When someone's changing positions, it's because they can do it.
Right, and so I think that's the key, playing your best athletes. You're right on. You play your best athletes on offense to try to give you a chance, and I think that's what Coach Gonzalez is trying to do here with this young man.
3 yards on that carry, 2nd down and 7. Again, Olvera, the ball carrier. He breaks a tackle, gets to the 35, 36-yard line, and they're going to give him forward progress to the 36 because he was still on his feet.
Yeah. I mentioned this to Coach Gonzalez. You see that and we'll talk about it here as they run it again. Look at number 12 is wearing it. Number 20 is wearing it. You see those guardian caps that everybody?
Yes.
This team, for whatever reason, a lot of their players wear it. I'll tell you what Coach said about that. Here comes yours.
We've got a flag. See what? It comes from the umpire. We'll see what Tony Caso, the referee, will tell us about this one. And it's against the Wildcats.
Prior to the snap, disconcerting signals. Number 3 of the defense. 5-yard penalty. Going to be a 1st down.
Yelling something.
Yeah, so he might be yelling certain, hut, or,
exactly.
or hiker or something. He might be yelling from the other side. So see those guardian things that's on top of the helmet? That's not your helmet. That's
right.
On top of that, we wanted to talk to him about it because, look, a lot of the team, I've never seen so many players on the team wear it. Here's the run again by number 20, right? I mean, you see Miguel Olvera. So he said, what's the thing, Coach? He goes, look, we got 30 of them. And I asked the guys, I said, look, we can wear them. You see what you think? The kids themselves, as you see the replay here, both running back and quarterback wear those guardian caps. Extra protection against concussions, that's what Coach was saying. But you know what the funny part is? The athletes were not very, very high on it, but I'll tell you who was. Mom and Dad were. Mom and Dad said, you got to wear them. So he says, so they're wearing it. So that's what you got. Guardian caps on top of those helmets is what you got.
Ramirez looking for a receiver in and out of the hands of Lopez, running a flat route out there. That's an incomplete pass, bringing up a 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, that's a young sophomore out there, Vicente Lopez. And besides Matthew Garza, when they want to pass the ball, they like to go out to that area. I just couldn't connect there. Nice pass, a little bit high maybe, but incomplete nonetheless. Bring up what, 3rd down and 10 now. This defense for the Wildcats starting to stiffen up a bit.
Yeah, and the only reason, the Wolverines have been able to convert 1st downs is on the penalties.
Right.
So 3rd and 10, rolling out to his left is Ramirez, going deep, and that's way over the head of everybody. Intended target was Andrew De La Rosa.
Yeah, good try there by the Wolverines. I mean, you've got to try something. It's a 3rd and 10. It's obviously a passing down, but look at this defense staying home, understanding that, hey, we can't let any of these run outlets come out, but it's a deep pass, nobody there to catch it. Bring up a 4th down. Good defense there on that one for the Wildcats.
Yeah, a lot of black jerseys on the screen there with only one white jersey, which is the intended target, Andrew De La Rosa. Back deep is going to be Jay Herrera. He's going to be standing at about the 23-yard line. Wolverines back to punt. There's a flag on the play. Maybe too many
Illegal
men.
substitution. 12 players on the field
There
on
you
the
go.
offense.
Yep.
5-yard
So
penalty.
that's the only thing I could think of
Still
when I
fourth
looked down there. Before the snap, they just had too many men on the field.
Yeah,
so
it
that
happens
moved
on
back.
special teams, right? Usually, if it happens, it's going to happen there. You're setting up for a punt, and you're thinking you're still on the offensive side of things. Something you forget to get off the field. Simple as that.
That's illegal motion right here on the left end.
So what started as a promising drive.
False start. Number 2 of the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, that was a
Still
left
fourth down.
hand. I saw that one all the way.
He was going backwards here. I mean,
Yeah.
they were starting moving the ball okay, but you're right. That some of these penalties, now the penalties have gone to them.
On their side, exactly.
Yeah.
So Jay Herrera now lined up at the 31-yard line. He was back about the 20, but the 2 penalties give him some room to move up. It's a good punt. He's going to pick it. No, he's not going to pick it up. I thought it maybe taking a bounce towards him, but he's going to die at about the 41-yard line. We were talking about golf, you and I, before the game. That looked like a high lob wedge that just sat there and stuck at the 41.
You know, I will watch golf. I admire the people who do it because it takes a lot of bravery to be out in this heat in the valley anyway. And then just the strategy that goes into it. I got a couple of sons that are into it. And they start speaking just like you. And then I said, I was listening to you talk. I said, man, these golfers have their own language. That's for sure. You know, you understand a little bit of it, but the majority, it's golfer talk. That's for sure.
First and 10 Wildcats at the 41-yard line. Handed off to Rodriguez. He's got a hole. He's going to get across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Good 6-yard pickup for Rodriguez. Good blocking there in the middle from Jacob Zuniga, Charles Bush, Joe Barrera.
Yeah,
And look at that seal. That seal by Rudy Villegas.
Yeah, there was nothing there. I mean, it wasn't down till the second level. You're talking about the linebacker or even further down where your safeties are having to make the tackle.
Second down and 4. Again, Rodriguez, the ball carrier. Again, a new run. And this time, he's going to break things open at the 30, 25, 20. Finally knocked down by Christian Rivera. If not, Rodriguez would be dancing in the end zone.
Yeah, that offensive line, Joe, you described it earlier. Watch him go work again. Boom, boom, boom. And then there's nobody touching him. Right down as he goes down the line. Now, you're talking one of the better running backs in the valley here in Rodriguez. He doesn't need much crease either. He needs a little space, and that offensive line right now dominating that defensive line.
You know, they talk about winning games in the trenches. Right now, the Wildcats are winning this one in the trench. Rodriguez is going to bounce it outside. He's inside the 10, knocked out of bounds at about the 5-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to keep going down that side. I mean, there's just plenty of green room. Watch him come up, and as soon as he grabs it, he sees there's nothing in the middle, then watch him pop it open. We talked about him last week, that not only does he have the strength to go through the line, but he bounces it off and has the speed to pick up it up on the other side.
Number 1 of the offense. 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul.
That's going to nullify that play. It's a spot
Repeat
foul.
first down.
It's 10 yards.
Well, that was a pretty run anyway.
It was a pretty run anyway.
My goodness, that was nice. I mean, this offensive line, we really got to call them out here for the work they're doing here early on anyway. They're really taking this defense for the PSJA Memorial Wolverines. They really are early on.
J.D. Sanchez and Lubin Garcia over there on the left side doing a banged-up job.
I'm going to have to ask what they had for dinner. Man.
Power I, they're going to hand it off to the tailback, Herrera, and he's going to be hit in the backfield. They sent the blitz this time.
Yeah, they've had enough of it running. They're going to more bodies up front than you can brag. Nathan Cruz comes up, number 11, try to make a tackle. They had to, and all a bunch of white jerseys outnumber them at the line, line of scrimmage if you can. To shut down those running lanes is what they try to do on that one.
Yeah, they put 11 in the box.
Yeah, we want to be seeing a little bit more of that, especially when you have only those 4 down linemen going up against this offensive line. You might have to make adjustments there.
Gonzalez under center, Rodriguez in the backfield. They're going to toss it to Herrera, who came in motion. He's going to bounce it outside. Inside the 20, 15, 10, and a flag on the play.
Man, oh man, that might be in the area of holding, right?
Right, exactly.
Right outside there. Something had to develop in order to get him across. We'll see what the official is, but usually it's not good news.
Holding, number 5 of the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay second down.
It's so tough. You know, you're out there in space, and you know that if I make this block, which is coming right at you right there, you know, whether I push him out of the way or I move him one way or the other, this might spring my back. So yeah, you're running back anyway. So you know, sometimes it's just your hands are out there and you just grab sometimes. We'll see if they can adjust here. It's going to be now a second and long. It's going to 20 now.
And 20. They're at the 25. They got to get to the 5. Pistol formation. Gonzalez in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to Rodriguez. Rodriguez hit at the line of scrimmage. Good tackle there by the defensive end. That is going to be Homero Camacho.
Yeah, they come up. One thing the coach Gonzalez did talk about is he says, look, some of the guys that we have are especially on the defensive side of things, you know, they can tackle. We said the Robles, you just saw it. We haven't mentioned Brandon Perez yet or Joaquin Palacios, another linebacker, but they're out there. You know, they're one of those guys that come back and, you know, they don't have a lot of experience per se, game time experience, but they've played at the JV level, and now they're here at the varsity level trying to make a name for themselves.
Under the Friday night lights.
Yeah, that's the key. You know, I'm happy you mentioned that, because one of the things that, you know, Coach Gonzalez, we're talking to him about him. First time I met him, true story, we were at Mission Stadium back then, Tom Landry Stadium now, and he was an offensive coordinator for the Rio Hondo Wildcats. And I remember going up to him, and we were just talking about what we're doing, and we just started talking. So we know each other. Ever since then, I said to Coach, I saw you back in Rio Hondo. This is back early 2000s. He says, well, I've been to McAllen Memorial. I've been to PSJA. I've been to PSJ North. Went to San Benito, and now I got hired as a coach here. I said, well, A4 experience, that's for sure, you know. But he's been done the round, so he's very happy that he got an opportunity in this program, the PSJ Memorial. But yeah, one of the things he was saying, I'm very curious to see how some of my young guys are going to react to these lights. It's very different than having on a Wednesday or a Thursday. He says, you're at a nice facility. You know, we're going to see how our young guys do. So he was very excited about that. But yeah, Coach Gonzalez having some experience, I guess we would say that.
Third down and 19. Gonzalez under center. Play action. Rolling out to his left. Gets rid of it. It's caught, but not for much yardage. Maybe a yard. Rodriguez was the safety outlet. He was there right in front of Gonzalez, and it's going to be no gain. That'll bring up a 4th down and 19.
They were hoping something would develop. A lot of pressure there by the Wolverines.
And they're sending Alejos on, so this may be a field goal attempt, about a 40-yarder from right here.
So you know, you've seen Alejos kick. I haven't seen him. He didn't kick yet last week, at least at a field that I remember. This is interesting, right?
It's a 41-yard attempt by Alejos. He's got enough leg.
Okay, I was going to ask you that. All right, we'll see here.
So here comes the snap. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and the kick is good.
Wow.
41-yard field goal with 2:40 to go to give the Wildcats a 10-0 lead.
Wow, not just an extra special linebacker, but he's got an extra nice, long, strong leg. Look at this one. 40 yards, right? You said
41.
Oh, wow. I could have gone for longer.
Yep.
Line him up for 50.
Yeah, I knew he had enough leg. The only thing is, when you're kicking a longer field goal, the mental game.
Yeah.
You want to give it a little extra and sometimes, you know, when you're kind of on your edge as far as distance is concerned, in any sport, you want to give that little extra you tend to kind of pull things.
Yes.
And so in those instances, sometimes they end up yanking them left.
Right. But that was nice. I mean, I've never seen him kick a field goal. Plenty of extra points and things, but we didn't get to see a field goal attempted last week against the Redskins. But man, oh man, he's a weapon there. You get to the 30-yard line, you're in business.
Yep. Alejos kicking the ball away. That's going to be out of bounds.
Well, I'd rather have it now than during the field goal.
Right.
What you were saying, you tried to shank it to the left. Yeah, let's do it now. You know, that's not doing the field goal. But yeah, I get what you're saying. You're right. It's a little longer. You kind of
kick out
have
of
to go
bounds.
more one way than the other.
On the kicking team, ball will be placed on the 30-yard line. First down.
As you heard the referee, ball went out of bounds, so therefore it'll be on the 30-yard line. First down and 10 for the Wolverines. Ramirez in the backfield with Olvera. 3 receivers to the top of your screen, 1 at the bottom. They'll send 1 in motion. They're gonna hand the ball off. No, Ramirez is gonna keep it, and he is hit at the line of scrimmage, but able to get away from the tackle and bounce forward for about 3 or 4 yards. Santiago Flores there in the backfield just couldn't secure him.
He almost had himself a gift. He was tugging on that football.
No huddle offense. Trying to get the Wildcats to jump off sides. They did not move, and now Ramirez will look to the sideline to get the signal. Same formation for the Wolverines. Quick outside pass to Lopez, and Lopez was able to get a block and get across midfield.
Yeah, we talked about the two-headed man receiving
He
team.
stepped out of bounds at the 47.
Okay, so it's still a first down, but yeah, you're right. I mean, you see what they want to do with Vicente, the young sophomore. They want to get him involved along with Matthew Garza. If they have to throw the ball, those are the guys they want to go to. There's others they'll try, but those are the guys that they have shown to be playmakers on this offense.
Hands off to Olvera. Olvera off the right side will get to the midfield marker, and that's where he'll meet a bunch of black jerseys, and he'll be brought down.
Yeah, the Wildcats early on, you can see what their game plan is on defense. But besides tackling, watch some of these guys in black. Look what they're going for. Watch this. Somebody got him? Yes. Okay, if you got him, then I'll touch stripping the ball. That's Coach Guzman defense. If you've got him wrapped up, somebody come over and strip that ball. That's something they teach here at Weslaco East. So that's they're trying to get the opportunities, many opportunities they can on offense.
Pick up a 3, 2nd and 7. Looking for a quick pass. Cannot. And Ramirez is going to keep it. He's in trouble behind the line of scrimmage. And out there creating havoc was Adrian Espino.
Yeah. He didn't give up on that one. Number 35 as well, Derek Salinas out there. Look at this play. He wants to throw early. Nothing develops, and he says he wants to run. And then Espino comes up and says, no, he ain't going nowhere. Didn't give up on it. And that's exactly what you get, a nice sack. It looks like it was a sack anyway.
Yeah, it was. Derek Salinas comes and cleans it up. But a good job by Espino to make Ramirez have to come back.
Yep.
But defensively, they covered that little bubble screen. That's what forced Ramirez to not. Now they go to Garza, bubble screen on the other side. And he comes inside, and he is just decked.
Yeah, Jaden Garza, number 28 for the Wildcats. You've heard the term lay the wood. Well, this is, if it was in the dictionary, this was what it would be. Watch this right here, Pope. That's nice tackle. When it ends, you hit him. Nice, legal, perfect tackle, really. It stops the momentum, stops there.
And it forced the Wolverines to punt once again. And Herrera inside the 20 at about the 18-yard line, getting set to return this second punt by the Wolverines. Defense playing really good here tonight. Good punt. And again, it just kind of sticks, takes a Wildcat, bounces down at about the 33-yard line. And I think that's going to do it for the first quarter. That's going to be the end of the first quarter. We've played 12 minutes of football here in Weslaco. And at the end of the first quarter, it is your Wildcats 10, the Wolverines nothing. We'll be right back with the second quarter right here on K-West. Second quarter about to get underway. Wolverines punted the ball away. Wildcats will have the ball once again for the third time here tonight. 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line. Looking pretty good tonight,
Yep.
Fred.
Yep.
You know, just those penalties on that second drive really kind of stalled their drive there. If
Yeah.
not, they would have probably had 2 touchdowns.
Sure. Yeah, last week even, it was hit and miss and him and go, but now the offense has done stuff like this that we were missing from last week, you know.
Good stiff arm by Rodriguez, finally knocked out of bounds. And we'll see where they spot it. They're going to spot it at the 41-yard line. So a good pickup of about 7 yards. Good blocking there on the outside. Allows him to get outside and then finally pushed out of bounds by Rivera.
I like that formation that they've been running for. They've been running this since the beginning of the season. They got a couple of backs. You see Burnias, and then you see number 22 back there as well in Herrera. I like that formation. It gives you different options, you know. The defense kind of has to wonder what to do there.
Again, the handoff is to Rodriguez. He budges forward for about 2 yards, and it'll be 3rd down and 1.
Last week, Donna, the Redskins, with some of their experienced linebackers, were able to slow this play down. And so East had, the Wildcats had no choice but to kind of adjust certain things, and they did, and obviously won the game. But when this is working, you know, when you have this type of an offense going, it's hard to kind of focus in on one guy, you know. But even now we're back to the traditional power game here.
Power eye is going to be Gonzalez, and we've been hearing a lot about that quarterback sneak. A lot of people call it a tush push.
Right.
And what they will allow, because you know that they can't ban the quarterback sneak.
Right. Yeah, you know, that's been for years the stable of Weslaco East offense. You would knock down the Weslaco East offense that so many quarterbacks in the past have run, including with this young man who just run it, you know, Aiden Gonzalez. This is part of his arsenal as well, you know, that quarterback sneak, especially when you need that. When did it ever transfer to a push from a sneak? You know, it's always the changing of football, basically.
1st and 10, they're going to toss it to Herrera. He's got some blockers in front of him, cuts it upfield, still on his feet, inside, and he is going to take this one to the house. This is a 54-yard TD run for Jay Herrera.
J.O.J. My goodness. We mentioned his vision. You'll watch it here. The blocks are there. Now it's up to you, Jay. Cut it back inside here. And one more down here. You see that? He's got that ability to see and make a play. It's hard to believe he's such a really good defensive player, that he's such a good pack. Just a great athlete overall. Big touchdown for Jay.
Alejo's on for the extra point. Kick is up. Kick is good. So with 10:04 to go here in the first half, it is now your West Wings Wildcats 17, the Wolverines 0.
That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Running. You go ahead. Please go.
I don't have complete stats. I'm just keeping some stats.
Sure.
But Jay Herrera is already over 100 yards rushing.
He said, I would say him now, my math ain't great, but no, he's had big runs.
Yeah, 60 and 54.
Yeah, big positive runs, and they've been, you know, now the good thing is they set you up with a couple of the other guys. You know, they have Burnias back there, which we already talked about. Rodriguez is having a nice solid night. And then you have Jay Herrera, who's your athlete, who he cuts the corner. Watch out, because there's really nobody that can catch him. You know, he's got that breakaway speed. And then, as you saw in the replay, man, he's got the moves. He's got the step one way and go the other. One step over here and go the other. Look at the Wildcat fans. They are happy. No doubt, should be. This is a great performance by your Wildcats here this evening.
Yeah, you talked about his vision, you talked about his moves, and he kind of put those together. We saw it right there towards the tail end of the run. What opened it up was he saw that the defender was coming this way, and he cut inside, and he was able to break it away.
Right.
That was taken at about the 10-yard line, and he's going to be knocked out at the 35, and that is Vicente Lopez with the return for the Wolverines.
And the reason we bring that up is because that's not easy to teach.
Right.
You know, either you have it or you don't. When you're out there running, you have to make that play. So it's not like, you know, the coaches will help you, and your running back coaches and other offensive coordinators and stuff will help you. But when you're out there, you have to read the player. Whether you fake left and go right, or go fake right and go left, that's the athlete. That's 22 right there. Good crowd here this evening, huh?
Yeah, very good crowd.
Finally, it's not 1,000 degrees anymore. You know, the humidity has come down a bit. Finally, football weather, huh?
Getting there, fall is just a few days away. Ramirez quarterback, pistol formation, Olvera in the backfield. Going to be a little outrun for Olvera. They're going to get it to him. He's going to be hit and knocked down after about a 4-yard gain. And that was a good stop there by Santiago Flores. We've mentioned his name quite a bit tonight.
He's been active. And if you're kind of wondering, you know, he's out there playing well. Remember, the Wildcats are missing a couple of players here just for injury. You know, they'll probably join us in a couple of weeks. But you see, it gives an opportunity to some of the other players to come up and make plays. Good job.
Ramirez looking. Ramirez in trouble. They've got him in the backfield. He breaks away. And not giving up is Nehemias Munoz. He had him. Ramirez got away, and then he went and tagged him down.
Yeah, we'll really appreciate his hustle.
Yeah.
Watch 17 here, Nehemias. I got you. Well, maybe not. But don't worry. I'm going to chase you and I'm going to get you from behind. And then there's the other guy, that's Santiago Flores, who's been super active here this evening. I mean, he's been on basically every defensive player so far. Great tackling by this Wildcat defense for sure here.
So he gets back to the line of scrimmage, 3rd down and about 7. 6 is what they say officially. Bad snap. Ramirez had to go out to his right to get it. And look who's there again. Nehemias Munoz in the backfield. This time it is a sack.
Yes. Nehemias says I don't have to work that hard to do this. But watch what happens here. Wants to throw, but look what happens. There's nothing there. We're going to set up a screen. The Wildcats read it perfectly. That stopped the play from going and setting it up to the left. Had nowhere to go. That's your sack, and now it's 4th down. Great play.
We've got an official's timeout on the field, so as they take a timeout on the field, we're going to take one as well. 8:12 to go here in the first half. Wildcats up 17-0. We'll be right back. That's one you don't want to lose. After the officials' timeout on the field, we're back to live action. 4th down and 11 for the Wolverines. Herrera back at the 31-yard line. He'll take it on a bounce at the 27, makes a move, gets to the 31, 32-yard line. He's finally brought down by about 3 or 4 white jerseys. Short return for Herrera, but the Wildcats once again have the football.
Yeah, and that was good by Herrera, really. That ball could have probably traveled a few more, yards south. So, yeah, when he grabbed it, he did it. Hey, the dinner served, Joe. Is he coming all the way up here, or is that as far as it's going to go?
Can you see me? I'm waving.
Yeah, we're the guys that are waving and jumping up and down. Well, congratulations. Yes, congratulations. You got all sorts of swag here on a Friday night.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
1st and 10, 31-yard line. Gonzalez in the pistol formation. Herrera in motion. Burnias in motion. They're going to give him the ball. He'll spin, get forward for about a yard. Good tackle there by Brandon Perez.
That's cool to see. Hey, we talked last week about Burnias and what an impressive young man this guy is. I mean, he's a good running back. He's just, what is he, a young sophomore, I believe, right?
Yes.
Just a sophomore. So he's got an opportunity to kind of get going as well as part of this offense. You already know the rest of the other Wildcat characters we've talked about here quite a bit. But now a nice tempo change of guy in Devon Burnias. Glad to see him on this offense as well.
Same formation for your Wildcats. Timeout called by the Wildcats. Little bit of confusion on the
second timeout of the half.
Setup of the offense. So Coach Burgett wants to call a timeout to make sure that everybody's in the right position.
Exactly. We saw that thing. We saw it during before the game started when they were running their warm-ups. There's a couple of plays on there, Joe, that I believe, you've got a bit more experience seeing this offense at work. But there's some things that he wanted to implement here this evening.
Right.
And it could be just because he wants the offense to grow, which is perfect because, you know what, you're about to do game 2, and your offense has continued to grow. And he was out there with him. He was standing in their spot, basically showing them, hey, this is what I want you to do. So maybe this continuing teaching of how what he wants to accomplish, and he would put in another player and say, hey, you see what we're doing here? And they would bring in another guy and says, look, we're trying, you know. So the teaching continues after so many years for Brigette. Coach Brigette, he's still teaching. He's out there still teaching the offense, and you know, I'm sure he's trying to put different things with different players in there to benefit their ball team. And they're going to need it. It's going to be a long season here, so they've got a lot of football to play.
A lot of football to play, and as you were mentioning, you know, getting Burnias in the rotation. So
Yep.
you're adding some stuff because you've got the athletes to do it. Ball on the ground. Gonzalez couldn't quite
Yep.
get the snap, and he was still trying to hand it off to Rodriguez, which is dangerous.
I don't want it. You take it. You're the one that's supposed to take it too. But you know, watch this. You just never had control of it. You're right.
Yeah.
100%. You never. And that's the best thing to do. Fall on it at this point. You know, you don't want to give it up there to Memorial. So yeah, you're right. That never really got control. And it just happens sometimes. You never get 100% control of it. But you get to play yet once again, another down.
3rd down and 14 for your Wildcats. Gonzalez looking for a receiver. He's got it to Herrera. Herrera catches it, and Herrera's brought down at the 45. But what a set of hands.
Wow.
He had a defender on him, and he was able to concentrate fully on that ball and bring it in.
Watch Gonzalez's pass. Watch this. Boom. What? You're 100% right. What a nice catch. Pass and catch. Man, oh, man. Looking like throwing a fastball or playing baseball or something,
Well,
Mr.
Gonzalez is a baseball player.
That's what I'm saying. He's able, man, that was a nice-looking ball, and what a catch. What a catch. 1st down.
The Wildcats will spread it out, 2 receivers each side of the football. They're going to hand it off to Rodriguez. Rodriguez is going to go up the right side, and he is just going to bulldoze his way across midfield to the 48-yard line. A good 7-yard run, hard run by Rodriguez.
Now momentum has started. Now you loosened up the defense, and you saw a pass. Now you got to pay attention to it. And then you come down here, and you have to tackle a really good running back in Elias Rodriguez. That's just tough to do on a defense. It's just tough.
2nd down and 3, 47-yard line. 48-yard line, excuse me, is where the ball is resting. Same formation, 2 receivers each side. They're going to give it to Rodriguez again. He's going to run off that right side. He's going to run forward. He's going to get to the 45, and that's going to move the chains for your Wildcats yet once again.
Still haven't seen him go down on the first point of action when he tries to get tackled. It just hasn't happened yet. Watch it, hear it again. First guy comes up, hits him. Just let's go for a ride. Just come with me. Meet you over down the road here. You know, that's a strong running we've been talking about that Gonzalez brings.
You know, they talk about yak yards with your receiver, yards after catch.
Yep.
How about yards after contact?
Well, that's exactly it. Elias Rodriguez, just a perfect example of that.
We'll start calling it yak yards, yards after contact.
That's it. See that?
See there, that's 3 yards after contact. Because Robles hit him at the 45-yard line, and it wasn't till the 42-yard line that he was finally brought down.
That's his strength, folks. Watch this. That's just 1, 2, 3. He's got 2 guys on him. He's defensive players. You know, as a matter of fact, Joaquin Palacios, one of those guys, Brandon Perez. These are good linebackers. He's making and carrying with him a couple of yards. This defense has to be tired.
Yeah.
I mean, they've really been gashed here, and they've spent a lot of time out here. As a matter of fact, you see rotation of players here by Coach Gonzalez trying to bring in fresh bodies to try to slow down this running attack.
Well, the Wildcats scored with 10:04 to go here in this quarter.
Right.
Forced to 3 and out.
Right.
So they have been on the field for the most part of 6-8 minutes already.
Yeah. Elijah Lopez now going wide. This is a little different wrinkle here on this offense. Watch the sweep coming across. In motion, they give it to him. Just, it looks a lot of penetration there. Number 9 came up for Eusebio de Leon, the senior. They call him Sebi. Defensive lineman / linebacker. Showed a little bit of speed there. First negative play here in this possession so far for the Wildcats.
Yeah, we haven't seen the Wildcats playing from behind the chains much, except for the time that they had those penalties back here in the first quarter.
Been positive.
Right. But those were by penalties. This one's by the plays.
Right.
Gonzalez got a receiver in Rodriguez, and he just can't hold on to it. There is a flag, however, there at the top of your screen.
Yeah, we saw that come in as soon as they attempted that pass. Wondering if it's a hold out there. Sometimes you're setting up the pass, a quick pass. Watch this. Well, we'll see how the official has it. Looks like Coach Gonzalez is out there, so he's saying, yeah.
Illegal formation.
Okay, there you go.
On the offense. 5 players in the backfield. That penalty will be declined. It's going to be 4th down.
Yeah. I like the way you say it. Not enough, too many. That's right. Or not enough on the line.
Yeah, what happens is when you spread them out like that, you've got to have the people on the line, and you can only have the 4 people behind the line.
Right. So now you got a 4th down, right? I mean, because of the penalty.
And that'll force the Wildcats to punt for the first time tonight.
Yeah. Oh,
high snap.
You can still pick it up and do something with it if you wanted to. There you go.
Good
Nice.
punt. Good play there by Josiah Contreras.
Yeah. Averted disaster and gets up a pretty good punt.
Yeah, gets it out to the 34-yard line.
That was so far back. You had a chance to go back. Josiah did. To go grab it and then kind of sideways. Watch this pass.
A rugby kick.
Yeah, rugby kick right up over his head, and it went so far. By the time the defensive players got there, he had enough time to set it up. A nice kick. Oh, wow. There you go. Yeah, so that could have been disaster there. Averted, and now we've got a first down and 10 going the other way.
1st and 10 for the Wolverines at their own 34-yard line. It's going to be Ramirez, the quarterback, in the pistol formation. Olvera in the backfield. They'll send a running back in motion. Hand it off to Olvera. Olvera has the room. Gets outside to about the 44-yard line. That's going to move the chains for the Wolverines.
Yeah, you see Olvera, what he wants to accomplish. You know, had a solid game last week or the week before. They were off the week before, but played Mac High, had some good runs, just kind of like that. Kind of downhill runner, and then he picks up quick yards, will pick up first downs. Those are the kind of things that he wants to do.
1st and 10, Wolverines, 44-yard line. Little confusion.
Yeah.
Ramirez going to have to run with it, and Diamias Munoz gets there and brings him down, and not sure if he got to the line of scrimmage. Looks like he did, so it's not a sack.
Yeah, he wanted to give it off, it looked like.
Right, there was some confusion in the backfield.
You
because
see
he
it here.
Yeah.
Right there, you see, he was hoping that his running back was there. There was nobody there. The only guy that showed up was Diamias Munoz, and he's been showing up quite a bit here during this half.
2nd down and 10 for the Wolverines. Looking right is Ramirez, ball in the air. And it's almost intercepted on the tip drill. A little bit of pushing out there. I was looking to see if there was going to be a flag, but they're going to let him play.
It was good coverage.
Right.
Let's be honest. Yeah. As a matter of fact, Devin Reina out there. They want to throw the ball, and they can at times. You see it there? Just a bit behind him. Just a great job there. That was actually number 6. That was a Ram Carrera.
And Taylor Jimenez out there almost with an interception on the tip drill.
Yeah. He had an opportunity out there. If he just kind of looks a little bit to the side there, he'll see the ball flying his way.
So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 10 for the Wolverines. Ball still at the 44-yard line. They'll send 3 receivers to the top of your screen. And again, confusion with the play. Olvera not expecting the handoff.
Yeah, I think at this point, you know, you're wondering, hey, should I take it from you? And he wasn't in a position, the quarterback, he wasn't in a position to give it to him quite yet. I think Olvera thought it was going his way, but the truth of it is Nolan Ramirez wasn't ready to give it to him. That was kind of high as well. Yeah, that could have been another point of disaster for the Wolverines. Good thing they were able to jump on it, but still brings them 4th down now.
4th down, they send the punt team in. Herrera's lined up at the 29-yard line. Good punt. It sends Herrera back to the 21. Fields it, looking for some blockers. He cuts it upfield. Spin move, 32-yard line. Finally brought down. So a good return of about 11 yards for Herrera gives the Wildcats 1st and 10 at the 31.
So how aggressive do you want to be? You watch Herrera here return the punt. You can see that He's always just just a play away here from making things, and he cuts it back inside. He has the ability to do that, and then of course a bunch of white jerseys.
That is the
come around.
2-minute timeout.
The question is now you've got what, a couple of minutes now. What is it? A minute 48. So now how aggressive do you want to be? Does Memorial start off the third quarter with the ball?
That is
So,
the
you know,
2-minute
you-
timeout.
There's two timeouts. So yeah, the situation for timeouts here for Weslaco East looks like they have one remaining.
Yeah.
So they've got that in their pocket if they want to use it. How do you think? How aggressive is Coach Brigette here? You've seen this.
I would throw the ball.
Okay.
You know, you've got Gonzalez with a little bit of confidence back there.
Right.
He hooked up with Herrera a little while ago.
Right.
So do you run something like that again?
Right.
Or do you use Herrera on a decoy
Right.
and try to get another receiver open?
Because you got to get to the 30-yard line, right? Because we said if you want to attempt a field goal, if you want more points, about the 30 or so, maybe a little further in, that's a pretty good area for your kicker. In this case, we already saw it in Alejos.
Yeah.
So that's something to think about.
Yeah, if you can get 15, 20 yards a pop, you can run 3 or 4 plays, and you've got plenty of time to do that.
Okay.
So they do spread them out. They're going to send 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen, 1 to the top. You've got 1 back in the backfield. That's going to be Rodriguez in the backfield. They're going to play action, throw it out here to Burnias. Burnias to the 35, knocked out of bounds.
There you go.
What I was going to say with when you've got your 2 receivers down here, in Pineda and Rodriguez, I'm not Rodriguez, Herrera,
Yeah.
you had the defender coming up in Nathan Cruz. I would send Herrera on a skinny post route, which would force Herrera to go with him.
Right.
And the inside receiver, Pruneda, just send him on a quick out.
Right.
Because the other defender is too far back to cover it.
You have at least pick up 15, 20 yards or so is what you're looking for to
Yeah.
pick up quick yardage. Okay.
Yep. And,
All right.
and you send him on the out route, right to the out, and he runs right out of bounds.
Well, let's see what they do here.
They'll change it up this time. They send him to the other side. Hand it off to Herrera. Herrera outside looking for a block. He's got it.
Whoa.
He's still on his feet. Herrera inside Wolverine territory. He's got 1 man to beat. And he is brought down at the 24-yard line.
Or just give it to Jay. Let him take care of it. There you go. Big first down and more. Big play. Watch him just wide, wait.
But look at that block there by Rodriguez.
Yeah.
That's what sprung him loose.
Exactly. That has been on all night. Well, you had to go underneath to try to slow him down, but a big first down. You were talking about chunk plays, Joe, about trying to get 15, 20. What do you think it was going to happen on one play?
Let's just get 50.
Gets anything over 40, it'd be fine. And so now now basically with a minute and change, you've got the whole playbook basically now.
Yeah. You've got time to get this ball into the end zone with no problem. They'll send Burnias in motion. Gonzalez rolling out to his right. That was almost intercepted. They're trying to get Villegas across.
Yeah, it looks like he was just trying to get it out to him. Just couldn't lead it out there. The ball
Personal
fell
foul.
short.
Roughing the passer.
Oh,
Number
that's going
9
to help.
of the defense.
Yeah.
Half the distance to
I
the
was
goal.
just about to say that was in
Automatic
the
first
area
down.
of roughing the passer. I'd already taken my eyes off of him when that one happened.
Just waited, watch Gonzalez, and then he finally throws it, and it's just, wasn't connecting with your tight end there, Villegas. But you're right. That happened. I guess after he threw the ball, they might have made contact with Gonzalez.
Yeah, because the camera was already off of him.
Yes. So now you're in business here. You've got that timeout, and we said you still have it there if you want it.
43 seconds on the clock, and the Wolverines are going
Timeout.
to call timeout.
PSJA Memorial.
Yeah, they figured. Yeah, we got to do something here. We don't want to go up. We don't want to go down more than 20 points into the half. You do get the ball back. You said earlier the Wolverines do, but giving up more points here just makes it that much more difficult. So yeah, this is a big play for them, or a series for them to try to slow this down. This attack and on the other side of Weslaco East, we said earlier, they can run, they can pass. 43 seconds, and you still have a timeout. You can still do all sorts of things with it. Looking at PSJ Memorial's timeout situation, they got 2.
Yeah, they had all 3 coming into this series, with the Wildcats, because when you mentioned the Wildcats had won,
Yeah.
I saw that they still had all of theirs available.
Yeah.
And the one thing I was thinking is, you're going to take those 3 home
Might
because
as well use
you're not going to
it.
have the ball.
Yeah.
The Wildcats are going to have it. You're not going to get it back.
That's right. Gotta use them.
And so they want to set up the right defense here.
Right.
Make sure that the right personnel. So 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. Wildcats with the ball. I formation, play action. Gonzalez gets it out, cannot get it to Villegas.
There was some pressure that I think changed the trajectory of the ball. Good job by the Wolverines to try to put pressure on Aiden Gonzalez, the quarterback. If they don't get there, I think he completes the pass, and then you might even see Villegas score.
Yeah, Villegas is in the end zone.
Yeah, I think they had to bring some pressure to hurry Gonzalez. You just can't have him sit there or roll out. So they got some pressure to him, and so that's going to bring up a 2nd down then.
And the incomplete pass will stop the clock with 38 seconds. 2nd down and 10. Wildcats ball on the 12-yard line. 1 receiver down to the bottom of your screen in Pineda. Play action again. Gonzalez looking to get rid of the ball. He does. In the area of Herrera, but defensively it's Christian Rivera getting up there and knocking it away.
Yeah, he's one of those seniors that Coach Gonzalez wanted him to step up. He says he's got to make plays for us. We know there's going to be an opportunity for it, and this is one of them. He throws it out there. He needs to bring it down because they had 2 Wildcat receivers out there, and so you want to block it away or you knock it down, and they did that.
So that'll bring up a 3rd down situation for your Wildcats. 32 seconds left on the clock. So plenty of time, and they still have 1 timeout.
Yep.
Under center is Gonzalez. In motion is Herrera. They toss it to him. Looking for a block. He gets outside. Inside the 10 to the 6-yard line. And that's going to be shy of the 1st down. So will they go for it or will they settle for 3?
That's a good question. That's a good question right there. Watch Jay go wide.
They're going to go
Wide.
for 3.
Wide.
Alejos is coming up on the field.
Okay. Yeah, and that makes sense. You want to add to the lead. The further away you get, it's not a touchdown, but it's points, and that means that PSJA more has to work that much harder.
Yeah, you don't want to come away empty-handed.
Yes, I agree on that one.
So this time it is a 28-yard field goal. And it's good. 28-yard field goal with 24 seconds left to go here in the half. And now it is your Wildcats 20, the Wolverines 0.
Yeah, you were right on, Joe. When you work that hard and then, don't pick up any points, as you see the 3 points by Alan Alejos. I've been impressed with that young man. Not necessarily what a defensive player is, because he's an exceptional linebacker. But, man, to come up here, and you said it's not an easy task to come in and make those kicks. And these have not been easy kicks. Just to kick, period, is hard. And to kick under pressure and, 20 yards, 30 yards, whatever the case might be, that's pretty impressive. That tells you what kind of athlete number 3 there, Alan Alejos, is.
Yep.
The flags are flying for lots of points here this evening. 20 points here.
In the first half.
Yeah, in the first half. That's pretty good offense. We keep talking about the points was not an issue. They had him the first 2 games as well. It was just the defense adjusting, and boy, have they adjusted. Starting last week till today, we still see that dominating play by this defense.
In the direction of Rivera, he takes it at the 12-yard line. On his feet, and he is knocked down hard by Derek Davila.
He had a lane. If he makes Derek Davila miss, which he didn't, but if he would, watch this. He catches the corner, and then we might be still talking. Watch the return, goes wide. So watch the defender go low right there. He's got an opportunity, maybe 21 blocks or something gets inside, and he's in business. But we'll never know. Excellent tackle by Derek Salinas.
Derek Davila.
Oh, Derek Davila. There you go. Yes, number 30. That was number 30. 30. That's right. 30. Thank you very much, Derek Davila. Good, solid tackle.
Good open field tackle.
Yeah.
Whistle on the field. Not sure
Timeout.
what happened.
Westlaco East.
Okay.
That is their
Weslaco
final
East
timeout of the
coach
half.
didn't want to take any into the house.
What for? They just weigh you down. If you put them in your back pocket, you put it in your shirt, you forget about it, you don't need it.
They don't roll. They don't roll over.
They don't roll over. Get rid of them. You know, then see. Let's talk to the guys. Let's make sure they're going to give us a play here. You got 13 seconds. You're deep in your own territory, so you want to make sure. Hey, you guys watch for this. Don't be on. Don't get caught sleeping. You know, those are always things that the coaches want to talk about, especially as you go into the half here. This should probably be the last play, heading into halftime.
Well, 13 seconds, we might get 2.
Just depends, right, on what
On
they
the
want to run.
pass.
Yep.
Well, it's going to be a pass. If it's incomplete, we'll have 2. If it's complete, we'll have 1.
Maybe it'll run out. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. They've got probably a dime package in.
Yeah. Yeah, they got people close to midfield over here.
Yeah, it's real prevent type defense for the Wildcats. They're going to hand it off to Olvera. Olvera still on his feet because everybody was 40 yards down the field. But that's going to do it for the first half. Olvera down to the 40-yard line. And they do stop the clock.
Well, it is a first down, right?
PSJA.
So then you stop it, and then you go right back.
PSJA has some timeout, so they might want to launch one. They just wanted to get some room.
Right. Have an opportunity to maybe go deep.
So they did. They started the clock. They're going to go to the halftime locker room.
Okay.
They're done. They just started the clock, and that is the end of the first half. And we played one half of football here at Texas National Bank Field, Bobby Lackey Stadium, and it's your Weslaco East Wildcats 20. The PSJA Memorial Wolverines 0. We'll be back with second half action right here on KWS.
Rebecca Lopez. Thank you for your hard work and dedication. And now, sit back and enjoy the most entertaining halftime show in the Valley. Take it away, Dazzlers! The Dazzlers and their directors would like to thank... Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the PSJA Memorial Early College High School Mighty Wolverine Band. The Wolverine Band is under the direction of Osvaldo Lopez, Richard Castillo, J.C. Alvarado, Nicky Castillo, Eric Gomez, and Elma Rowe. Marching band field staff include Raúl Villanueva, percussion techs Paul Gutierrez, Alan Reina, and A.J. Espinosa, color guard tech Genesis Sanchez. At this time, the Wolverine Band would like to thank our superintendent, Dr. Alejandro Elias, all of our school board members, our principal, Dr. Raquel Garcia, our fine arts director, Mr. John Taylor, and all of our flight administrators, parents, and band boosters for their continued support of fine arts in PSJA. This evening, the Wolverine Band will be taking the field performing their UIL marching show titled The School for Wizards, arranged by Scott Dufresne. The Wolverine Band is led by drum majors Jocelyn Martinez, Cadence Murray, and Yalvin De La Torre. Color guard co-captains are Terry Beltrán, Rory Ortiz, and Jocelyn Cavazos. And now, presenting the PSJA Memorial Green Machine Band.
brightest shining stars over the skies of the Rio Grande Valley. Introducing your 2025 officer line. Second Lieutenant, Tanya Garcia. First Lieutenant, Valerie Espinosa. Captain, Victoria Baron. And your 2025 Major, Alexa Trevino. The Scarlets are under the direction of Adelila Castillo Martinez.
This week's survey of the week is Amazings on the Wall.
It's a big night here at Weslaco East High School, and we're about to make it even more unforgettable. Tonight, we are proud to present the one and the only, the award-winning Wildcats. Turning up the Wildcat energy with the middle school band night. Let's get loud for our future Wildcats as we welcome the Mary Hold Middle School Band led by Director Natalie Sanchez and the Cuellar Middle School Band directed by Miss Olivia Aguayo to the field. These incredible young musicians are ready to rock the stands with their Wildcat spirit and show us what's in store for the next generation of band greatness here at Weslaco East High School. joining forces with the Wildcat Regiment tonight. They'll light up the field in a performance you don't want to miss. Now, let's hear it for the heart and soul of the Wildcat Regiment, led by Head Drum Major Marlene Montemayor, First Assistant Mia Garcia, and Second Assistant Edie Lopez, followed by our choir drum majors Taven Gonzalez, Carissa Cantu, Mary Hope drum majors Daniela Sanchez, Emma Lopez, Juan Castillo, and of course, none of this would be possible without the amazing team behind the scenes. Our directors, Armando Cuellar, Danny Hilton, Victoria Garza, Jesus Gallegos, Olivia Martinez, Natalie Sanchez, Rene Peinado, Laura Cedillo Rivera. Let's give them a huge round of applause. And a special shout out to our band technicians, Andrea Perez, Steven Vallejo, Sebastian Mata, Nathaniel Alvarado, and Ana Lopez for their hard work and dedication. Wild, loud, and proud. That's the Wildcat way. Get ready for a night of pure Wildcat magic. Let's hear it for the Wildcat Regiment.
you enjoy the Jumbotron, we are broadcasting halftime scores from around the valley. Halftime scores on the big board are brought to you by Taqueria El Compaito, located across the street from the stadium. After the game, you can order delicious lunches and a variety of taquitos, including the steak, trompo, fajita, tripas, and more. Halftime scores, once again, sponsored by Taqueria El Compaito. As we head into the second half of this game, we want to thank our third quarter sponsor, Texas Healthcare Imaging. Our third quarter sponsor, Texas Healthcare Imaging, committed to our physicians and community, always using the utmost professional and state-of-the-art care and compassion. Visit Texas Healthcare Imaging for open MRI, CT scans, ultrasounds, and more. We accept most insurance plans for your convenience and peace of mind. Texas Healthcare Imaging, they will be your third quarter sponsor, which will be coming up in 1 minute and 17 seconds.
Is this thing on? Oh, I thought they silenced us, yeah. Rumble, young man, rumble. Life is a trick, so sometimes we gon' stumble. You gotta go through pain in order to become you. But once the world loves you, you'll feel like it's only one you.
Do it better than anybody you ever seen. Do it scream from the haters. Got a nice ring to it. So excited. So excited.
Away, Wildcats running back onto the field, 20-0. They look really good in the first half. You know, one of the things we need to give credit to is that front line. Ryan Vera, Joe Becerra, Jacob Zuniga, Charles Bush, Lubin Garcia, and let's not forget Rudy Villegas has been doing some good job blocking there too.
Those guys are the MVPs right now, and you'll ask the running backs, ask any of those guys that have scored. Yeah, that they have been dominant. They've been dominant here in the first half, and so you expect to see that a little bit more. You know, you've done a good job of it. Obviously, the Wolverines are going to adjust. They're going to say, hey, this is what they're doing, this is what they're not doing. So expect them to put up a fight. This is their first district game after all for the Wolverines. So they know what's at stake here. They want to go 1-0 just like everybody else. So, but don't be surprised if the Wolverines start to put up a fight here. They won't get the ball first, so that'll help them anyway.
Yeah, they'll start with the football as they did win the toss the first for the second half. Alejo's on to kick this ball away. Back deep is going to be Vicente Lopez and Christian Rivera lined up at about the 5- and 6-yard line as they wait for the kick from Alejo's. Two big runs, a 50-yarder and a 54-yarder and a 60-yarder were the two touchdowns, Jay Herrera. But let's not discount Rodriguez. He's been running hard.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, a lot of that sets up. It's him setting things up right.
That's going to be Rivera at the 5-yard line. Got some running room. Cuts it up 25-30. On the chase is going to be Devin Reyna. And he's the one that finally brings it down to about the 37. So good return there by Rivera.
Devin Melendez, Iván Alejo, Ramiro Carrera, Daniel Padilla, Raúl Rosales, Nehemias Munoz, Devin Reina, Jaden Garza, Derek Salinas.
Mental health and well-being begins with Dr. Daniel Lozano, former athlete and proud alum of Weslaco ISD.
Snap to Ramirez. Olvera, the run ball, the ball is on the ground, and he turns around and is able to fall back on it.
That
Good
hitting
hit there.
It's still happening by this Wildcat defense. No doubt, Joe. You see them coming out early. They have. I'm sure Coach Guzman probably told them, "Hey guys, it's 0-0." And you see that 2. Forget about the 2 in front of the 0. It's 0-0. Let's go play like it. And watch this hit. Goes low. Boom.
And
nice hit.
That's Alejos with the initial contact, jarring that ball loose.
Yeah, very fortunate for Olvera to jump up back on it.
They're going to lose about 4 yards on that play. This time the quarterback's going to keep it, Ramirez, and he fooled everybody. And it wasn't until Derek Salinas caught him about 8 yards down the field.
So you see what they can do. You know, when they put their heads down, right, you see the fake. They were trying to go to another running back, and they have quite a few of them. Johnny Morales was the running back he faked to and kept it. Big first down.
Well, they're going to give up 13 on the carry. It'll give them a first down. 1st and 10 ball at the 48-yard line. 2 backs in the backfield with Ramirez. Olvera, the ball carrier, and he is going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage, and they're going to lose about 4 yards.
Now, penetration again by Alejos in the host of these Wildcats. I mean, they're all over the place. Watch this play. Nothing really materializes. The blocks never set up. And, you know, Munoz was out there. Yeah, Alejos is out there. Derek Salinas, another one, 35. So a lot of penetration here early in this drive. Now, I will tell you, Joe, I'm a bit surprised, and maybe it's because of the defense, but we would see maybe take advantage of the 4 wide and throw the ball more. That hasn't happened yet. Maybe here.
Play action. Munoz back there forcing him to turn around. Ooh. And that one is almost picked off. Jumping in the lane was Robert Oviedo.
Robert says, I want that one back. Man, I can't believe I dropped that. There was trying to throw the ball, but there was nothing there. Again, the time name, as Munoz pressure. Got, you know, just throw him off and just trying to find somebody.
Yeah, he's trying to get to Matthew Garza, but Oviedo saw that and jumped the lane and almost came out with an interception there. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 14.
So they will throw the ball. The issue was that this defense isn't giving him any time for him to set down, you know, set his feet and throw the ball.
This time he's going to roll out. They'll keep everybody back to block. But look who's in there in the backfield, forcing him to tuck it and run. That is going to be Jaden Garza.
Yeah, he was trying to set up a pass, trying to get it downfield as a passing down, 3rd and long. So you had to do something about he's just always under pressure. He wants to sit down, and by the time he wants to, you know, get his feet set or try to throw the ball, there's a black jersey right in front of you.
So he's going to pick up about 10 yards, bringing up a 4th down and 4. And they may be in 4-down territory,
yeah,
so they're going to go for it.
I would agree with you here, yep.
Under center is Ramirez. I formation. They're going to give it to Olvera. He is going to plow forward, and he's going to get the 1st down. That was some good, tough running from Olvera.
Yeah, and he's known for being that type of a runner. He's in between the tackles. He'll run inside, and he'll put his head down, and then he'll just carry with you. You watch him kind of, you got to wrap him up. You've got to put your hands on him to try to slow him down. It was just a nice run for a 1st down for the Wolverines.
So that'll move the change for the Wolverines. 1st and 10 at the Wildcat 38-yard line. They come to the line quickly. Again in motion. Olvera, the ball carrier. Hit at the line of scrimmage by Daniel Padilla, who finally able to bring him down, but he's going to get about 3 or 4 yards on that play.
Kind of like what Weslaco East likes to do. They like to go up the middle and run for 2, 3, 4 yards, 5 yards a pop, and then they hit you with a different play. You know, they obviously, you see, we said in the beginning of the broadcast how they want to run the ball too. Memorial does. They just come about it differently. They just don't run the same type of offense that Weslaco does. Weslaco has more personnel, a lot of power, On the other side here, you're starting to see the running, and it has been basically all night by Miguel Olvera, but they spread you out. See that? 3 men one way and then the other, so they spread you out.
3-man front for the Wildcats. Quarterback going to keep it, breaks the tackle. Padilla comes up and brings him down, and that's another 3 yards. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and maybe 4. We'll see where they spot it.
Yeah, good tackle. Good tackle. Go low and try to bring him down. Watch this one here.
They gave him
keeper.
They gave him only 2, so 3rd down and 5.
Just seems that the Wolverines are working hard to just pick up yardage here, and that's. We'll see here. The original was false start. We'll see if they stick with that.
Offside.
No offsides.
Defense number 28.
So one of the
5-yard
officials
penalty.
away from us saying maybe
Gonna be a
false
first
start,
down.
but looked like the Wildcats jumped. Stubbed the center, basically. That's something, you're right over the center there, and you think you move and you jump and goes backwards on that one.
That'll give first down for the Wolverines. Handed off to Olvera. Olvera looking for some room, but he is tackled quickly by Padilla. Padilla was there, saw him, grabbed his feet, and didn't allow him to go anywhere.
So you got to get good tackles on him. He's one of those backs again. You've described him, Joe. He's got some power. He's got some moves inside when he's running in between. So that's his strength. That's the strength of this offense. Trying to run like that. They just haven't been able to throw the ball as well as they would have liked to. They would have loved to get it to Matthew Garza and some of the other guys out there. It just hasn't happened. Here it is. Quick pass.
Little bubble screen. There's a block and a good run there by Lopez. It's that one initial block that sprung him free to get him down the field. And he's going to pick up about 5 yards, and they'll bring up a 3rd down and 2.
And that's part of their offense, right? It's the extension of the run, basically.
Right. And it was a good open field tackle there by Devin Reyna.
Got the receivers out there. Watch number 1, Matthew Garza. Sometimes they want to get some positive yardage. They like to go that way.
And him at the bottom of your screen by himself. Little mix-up again, and a good job there coming up from the defensive end position. Derek Salinas basically is a linebacker, but he was up at the line of scrimmage, and not sure if again, that was just a goof-up, not knowing if Olvera was going to come up or maybe just a design quarterback draw.
I think he wanted to toss it, it looked like, at one point.
Right.
But again, the running back is not in his spot, so you just kind of have to take it in and pick up what you can.
So that's a 1st down. Ball on the ground and picked up by the Wildcats.
That's interesting.
But there's a lot of whistles.
See, I was going to say everybody's blowing the whistle. We'll see what happens here. They were going fast, right?
Probably a false start.
They were going quick. Maybe too
Illegal
quick.
snap.
Yeah.
Number 74, the offense.
Maybe too fast.
5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Yeah, there was just not enough excitement on the fumble recovery. So I knew that was coming back.
Yeah, nobody's jumping around. You're just hoping they just give it to you. Right?
Yeah.
Like when you take it away, it's different.
Right.
And when you just picked it up and they're just sitting there.
So yeah, so that was a dead giveaway when there wasn't a lot of excitement.
Yeah.
That is their first timeout of the half.
Well, a timeout called on the field with 6:33 to go here in the 3rd. Wildcats up 20-0. PSJA moving the ball for the first time tonight.
And we thought we would see this early. And by that, I mean the beginning of the game. But you got to give credit to that defense for the Wildcats that has given them no opportunity to sit. The quarterback wants to throw the ball in certain times. That's part of their game. But they just haven't been able to do it because he doesn't have any time to sit there. And the times that he has rolled out, he's under so much pressure, he doesn't even get a chance to set his feet or even attempt to throw the ball accurately. He's always under distress. There's always a black jersey with a black helmet coming his way. So he's got to get rid of it. It's already a couple of times that he's thrown passes that were not intended to anybody except the guy in black.
Right.
So those are the type of things that this defense is creating here in this game. So yeah, we haven't seen it as much as we thought we would.
After the penalty, 2nd down and 15. Little RPO was what that looked like, and Olvera is given the ball, but he had nowhere to go as he was stopped immediately by Jaden Garza.
Yeah, there was nothing there, and you're right. And the RPO run, pass option. The option is for me to pull it out. I can't. It's too late. The defense has arrived. The quarterback did his best. Ramirez did to try to slow things down. But you know, try to pull the ball out. It was too late. There was already, you mentioned, 2 Wildcats already on you.
So they're going to lose a couple of yards, and it'll bring them back to about the 24-yard line, 2nd and 18. Looking down the field is Ramirez as he rolls out to his left. He's got a receiver. It's caught, and that is going to be Jose Garcia on the reception, and that's going to give them about a 3rd down and 5, 6.
Yeah.
It depends on where they spot it. Our window's starting to fog up.
Yeah, I came in and I said, I got one complaint. It's too cold in here. Who would have ever said that in September, right? It happens. You see here, there's probably going to be another false start, it looks like, on the Wolverines. There is such a thing as moving too quickly.
Contact.
Oh, offsides.
28 of the defense.
The Wildcats.
5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
So in 3rd and 7, it'll be like 3rd and 2.
Inching even closer, huh? And you saw the pass there, the pass play earlier. Again, we thought they were going to see a little bit more of that, but you see how they can be effective if they roll out and given time, especially to Ramirez, which he did on that play, was able to connect and pick up some positive yardage.
3rd and 2. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. Ramirez hit, and he falls forward. We'll see where they spot it. It's mighty close to the 1st down.
Yep. It is going to be close. We'll see here when they need some yards. Looks like they like to keep it with Ramirez.
They're signaling 4th down. The referee has his fist up.
You're right. You're right. Watch him here, following your fullback, running back in there.
So 4th down, about half a yard.
So you're probably going big package, I'm thinking.
Yeah, they're bringing all their big guys in.
Follow, looks like number 67. We've talked about him. Some of the other guys that are there, 65.
Quarterback keeper again, and this time he is going to get the 1st down. A good spin move there at the very end by Ramirez.
Yeah, Ivan Cantu was one of those guys in the middle. You know, you have Eren Corteño, another guy who's got some size. They bring in another guy who can push you at the pile. 1st down.
1st and goal from the 4-yard line. This is the deepest the Wolverines have been all night.
Yeah.
They're going to give it to Olvera, and Olvera's going to get a touchdown.
Yeah. There you go. We thought that this could possibly be the case, and they were going to adjust. And you saw a little bit of the adjustment. They continued running their offense, and they were able to get a couple of plays here and there. Led to this. Puts his head down against this defense who has been playing very well. Give up the first 6 points of the game.
You know, they had the ball quite a bit.
Yeah, they started the 3rd quarter with it. We're down to 4:33.
Yep.
Again, I'm terrible at time and numbers, but that's quite a bit of time.
Yeah, it's almost 7.5 minutes.
Yep.
So the extra point is on for the attempt. Is up. There's a whistle, but it's good.
So you see it here. I mean, this is what we thought going in. This offense would probably change a little bit, and you saw it given a little time. And we go back to some of these passes, especially with Nolan Ramirez at the helm. He's been the guy they used to run when they did a 1st down. They go Ramirez. Obviously, when they scored a touchdown, they gave it to Olvera here. You see the work that is being done, but then when they like to kind of spread it over, open you up and try to pass, if you give them time, this is what I saw against the last game they had was Mac High. And then they were in this game for quite some time. It wasn't until Mac High kind of took over. But yeah, they were able to do that. Not a congratulations to someone.
Happy birthday, I think is what it says. Ariana Sustaita. Happy birthday. 18th birthday. Want to send a big shout out to K-West's very own George Lopez, watching from the comforts of his sofa and having a 2nd bowl of chocolate ice cream.
He lies, it's not 2. More than that. I know him. him and I go, hey, we have our ice cream battles. Nah, just kidding, buddy. All right, here we go. Watch out.
Good return here by the Wildcats. That is going to be Burnias on the return, bringing it all the way to the 44-yard line.
Talk about this young man earlier. On the possibilities are endless. Just a young sophomore. Watch him here on the kickoff return. It's a nice kick, first of all. And then Burnias
takes it at the 11, gets it to the 41-yard line. So a good 40-yard return.
Nice setup there for the Wildcats.
43-yard line, so 42-yard return.
Wildcats have been, this is the first possession of the third quarter.
Yep.
Wow, with 4:22 left. Wow.
It's something that the Wildcats do to you.
I was going to say, this is the Wildcat offense.
Rodriguez, the ball carrier, 44-yard line, gets it out to the 47. So a good run by Rodriguez. We continue to see the Wildcats just pushing those white jerseys back, and Rodriguez just pounding the rock.
Yeah, and they're happy doing that. They do have the lead, you know, but you just saw the Memorial Wolverines score, so you start thinking, okay, we can't get let up now. You know, we've seen earlier in the non-district portion of the season, you know, you have built the lead, and you got to protect it, and the way you do that is by continuing to score. You just don't sit back and think that the other team isn't going to score. You just got to do it yourself.
Second down for the Wildcats. Jet sweep to Herrera. He cuts it upfield, still on his feet. Herrera has got through the line, and he's at the 20, 15, 10. Touchdown, Jay Herrera. That is a 53-yard touchdown run, his third of the night.
We talked about his big play ability in the first half. That doesn't go away. Watch this. Corner, cuts it back inside, and then he doesn't even get touched. That defense was thinking somebody was going to hit him. No, you hit him. No, you do. Nobody decided to do that. A lot of yards later, that's at 6 points there. Another big night for Jay Herrera.
60-yard, 54-yard, and 53-yard touchdown runs for Herrera tonight. Alejo's on with the point after, and it's good. So with 3:24 to go here in the third quarter, it is now your Wildcats 27, the Wolverines 7.
Now you would figure the Wildcats are going to do their thing. 3 minutes, they're going to run the clock and get into the fourth quarter. That didn't happen. They just give it to Jay and then let him take care of it. And you know, why not? You could decide to slow things down and then do the same, or toss it to Jay and then let him create and give you a quick touchdown, which just takes, you know, what, a minute, something like that. You know, it was so quick. This is their first possession, folks, of the third quarter here, of the second half.
A minute and 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's fast. Now we're having to rush into kiss cam. Look at that. Way to go. Well, all right. Everybody's getting involved in kiss cam. Now, if you're at home, you also have to do it. Don't forget, you're a participant. Let us know how it goes. Just like that. Just like that. Watch out, return here by Memorial. Cuts it back inside and outside to about the 40-yard line as kiss cam continues here from the stadium, Bobby Lackey Stadium. Remember, at home it counts as well. Even if you're on the couch eating ice cream, you still have to be part of the kissing cam.
And we need pictures.
Yes, we need proof, please, of the ice cream too. Possible. There you go. Way to go, sir. Big congrats. Everybody's getting into it. See, this is the type of stuff you miss when you don't come.
First and 10, Wolverines at their own 39-yard line. Olvera, the ball carrier, up the field to the 45. Good 6-yard pickup for him.
Yeah, Olvera, again, they're happy doing this type of offense. Now, the problem is you're down 20 points. You know, now you're still running. I got you. Still got time. You got a few minutes here in the third, and you got all the fourth. But at some point, you got to start thinking, hey, maybe we need to start passing to our receivers that we have out there to try to get into this game. East just scored on you again.
Yeah, just when you thought you had something going, Wildcats come right back and score.
Really on the floor. What a tackle from the floor.
Yeah, good job there by Jaden
He's on the
Garza.
turf. Jaden Garza.
Personal foul. Illegal chop block. Number 68 and number 71 of the
as
offense.
Soon as it
15-yard penalty from the previous
that
spot.
One of the
Replay
reasons
second down.
Garza was on the floor. He still made the tackle. Watching, we're going to see that, but there you go. The young Wildcat cheerleaders out and about here this evening. Family affair. Good crowd here. And a night that showed the band, the junior high bands coming over. That's some talent here.
Yeah.
These young kiddos, man, I'm telling you, there's no way even going over to start with an instrument like that. These guys are, at this time, they're doing a good job.
They move it back, second down and 20. Ramirez looking for a receiver. That's a screen to Olvera, and Olvera finally brought down by Reina. But he had some blockers out there.
He had a lane, didn't he? He had a bit of a lane. He had some things created. They were trying to set that up in the previous play. They were trying to set up, but the Wildcats were ready for it. This one here, more success. They were able to complete it and pick up a nice chunk of yardage now. But remember, they went backwards because of the personal foul involved.
So that was about 15 yards on that play. Brings up a third down and 5.
Yep.
So very manageable here for the Wolverines. Handoff to Olvera. Olvera across midfield to the 49, and that'll move the chains again for the Wolverines. So here the Wolverines in the second half looking better.
Yeah, absolutely. We knew going in that they were going to be able to adjust certain things. They saw where East was trying to penetrate and how they were playing defense. So you knew it was coming. You're starting to see it a little bit more now. They've adjusted two men in the backfield along with the quarterback has also been an adjustment.
Olvera again, the ball carrier. This time he is hit at the line of scrimmage. Good job there by the linebacker, Derek Salinas.
Coming up and making a good play. Now, he's the one that had that interception last week, right?
Right.
Against Donna. Yeah, he had one that helped on a drive. And there he is being very active. Good tackle. Now we can see the football field. Thank you, Carlos. We appreciate it. Thank you very much, sir. That was much needed. I thought it was just my eyesight going bad. I said, Joe, I think we've got a problem. It was just the window here.
Ramirez looking to go deep. He decides to come underneath, and he has Vicente Lopez in the flat open, and that'll bring up a fourth down because that wasn't enough for the first down.
Yeah, that's Vicente Lopez again, one of the targeted receivers. Quickly, run. See, get rid of it quick because they know that defense for Weslaco is coming.
Yeah,
Still short.
He was looking for something a little bit down the field to get them that first down, but sometimes you just got to go that emergency outlet and get what you can.
Run out of time. This defense hasn't given you much time here as you're the quarterback.
Third down and 4. Olvera, the ball carrier, hit in the backfield. Good job there by Nehemias Munoz. He did just enough to keep Olvera from getting any momentum.
And watch it here. Slows him down completely, and then here comes some of your buddies coming to help you clean it up. Nice tackle there, working in unison there, and looks like that's gonna end the third.
That's gonna end the third. They'll switch sides, and we'll come right back with the final 12 minutes of football here at Texas National Bank, Bobby Lackey Stadium. Weslaco East 27, PSJA Memorial 7.
It's a special time when you come out, don't you? When you come to the stadium, you got your loved ones, grandpa, sitting there, the young one. That's kind of stuff with memories that you build, especially when we're talking about it. So we'll look for this video 20 years from now.
Yeah, exactly.
See what happens. And then you talk about the things. Yeah, I remember sitting with grandpa or Dio or whoever came with you. Build some memories here on a Friday night. Some of these seniors the seniors that are here as well, obviously building memories for them.
That's what Friday nights are all about. Here in Texas.
Yeah, the community's here. Great job here by a lot of the parents and the fans coming out this evening. That's great to see.
We begin the fourth quarter. Wolverines with the football. Fourth down and about 4. They got to get to the 39-yard line. 2 backs in the backfield. Olvera at the tailback position. It's going to be a play action. Padilla looking to create some havoc in the backfield, cannot. And Ramirez gets away, gets it down the field, and it is caught. And it's going to be a first down for the Wolverines.
Yeah.
He's able to find Garcia at about 7-8 yards down the field. So.
Yeah, and we turn it around again. See, we haven't seen the pass as much as possible. That's the reason why. You just talked about Daniel Padilla, who's been putting pressure. This defense has been relentless all night.
Handoff to Olvera. Olvera through the line in the backfield, down the 20, inside to the 10, knocked down at the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal.
Yeah, they are. They know that, hey, the quickest way to get there is right down the middle to the goal, and why not? Once you cut it back inside and outside, and wholesale changes here on the offensive line for the Wolverines. We saw that big package they employed earlier. We might do that here again, but it looks like it's going to be a timeout.
Yeah, there's an official timeout on the field.
It looks like cramps, right? Looks like cramps are starting to sit in some of these young athletes. Again, we start thinking about the late third quarter, early fourth quarter, even though we said it was a nice night. And let's be honest, it's still humid out there, and that hasn't gone away. It's just not as hot as it's been, in the past few weeks now, but it's still warm out there, and you still get to see some of those athletes show up and start cramping up. You're feeling okay, and then all of a sudden you make a play or you stretch out kind of weird. And all of a sudden something pulls, and you're like, oh, no, that's not supposed to feel that way. We're hoping he's all right. We're hoping he can get up and get going. But, yeah, an adjustment by the Memorial Wolverines. They've been able to attack this defense, understand that they're being very aggressive. So they've taken that. Looks like he's going to be okay. That's Daniel Padilla walking off in his own power. Good to see. Yeah, so maybe it might have been a cramp or something like that.
Yeah, you talk about, it's a little cooler, but we've had a lot of rain this week, so it's very humid, like you mentioned.
Yep, that's
it. And that's because of all the rain we've had this week. And so, yeah, those cramps do come into play.
Yeah, you got to start working overtime, making more fluids together. So, yeah, PSJA Memorial has adjusted here. They're not too far off here. The ball is at the 10. You're down 20, but now you're mounting a response now. And remember, they had no points to show before halftime.
Yeah, it's a 3-possession ball game. So they line up in the I formation. Olvera at the tailback. They're going to give it to him. He's looking for the end zone. He finds it. 10-yard touchdown run, his second touchdown of the night. And the Wildcats have given up 2 touchdowns to the Wolverines. One in the third quarter, now one in the fourth quarter, and now it's a 2-possession ball game.
They follow Brandon Bettis, who is a defensive lineman by trade. He was playing the fullback spot. Followed in there was Miguel Olvera. Result touchdown. We await the extra point.
Here's the extra point. On to attempt it is Julio Cardenas. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, plenty of leg, and it's good. 27-14 is the score right now with 10:48 to go here in the ball game. So the Wolverines have scored twice here in the second half.
So we've seen this before, right? Non-district, we've seen some points put up by the Wildcats. And then the Wildcats kind of give up some points. They kind of let the team kind of creep back in. Congratulations to Coach Gonzalez and the rest of the Wolverines. They've made this a game now. You got 10:48 left to go. And there's Grandpa doing the chicken dance. But, going back to the game, they've been able to adjustments. So Weslaco is the last time we were talking about adjustment. It was like we scored it with took them a minute 10 seconds to score. So do you do that again? Do you kind of slow things down? Do you want the clock? You want to score, obviously.
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter as long as you score.
Yeah. All right.
Burnias and Herrera back deep. They kick it to the direction of Burnias at the 7. He's going to get some blocks. He has some across the 30, 35-yard line. Another good return for Burnias.
That helped a lot, as a matter of fact. I remember you talking to him. He says, hey, that was a nice return. That one was there as well. It helps the offense. Obviously, you want to see the kickoff here. They've learned, like we were talking against Donna, to kick it away from Jay Herrera. You don't want Jay Herrera touching. You don't want 22 anywhere near the ball. If you have to give it to someone, well, if you must give it to Burnias, he's had a good night too, return. At this point, you would just want to sky kick it or something at this point, trying to get away from these returners for the Wildcats who are giving you pretty decent field position.
Well, they're going to spot it at the 33-yard line. First and 10 Wildcats, 10:38 to go in the ball game. Pistol formation for Gonzalez and the Wildcats. Going to give it to Rodriguez. He's got some blockers. He's across the 40 to the 42-yard line, and he'd still be running if Rivera hadn't knocked him down.
I want you to keep an eye on the replay. A guy weighing 7-0. Watch Charles Bush. Boom. Right there. If he doesn't block 10, if he doesn't block Jonathan Basurto, he probably gains a yard, maybe up to the line of scrimmage. But you keep talking about this offensive line, and you know we saw it there with Bush there, coming across and just completely getting him out of the play to where he can pick up a big first down.
Now we'll move the chains again for your Wildcats. Approaching the 10-minute. Rodriguez has to put his head down as they came up quickly, but he's going to get a yard on that one.
On this one, basically the same play, but the Wolverines recognize it. Want the recognition, put more bodies up front now. See, now it's harder to do because now you have more bodies to block that you know you're blocking with.
Yeah, Robles came up quickly from his linebacker position to seal that hole.
Yeah, so now you know, hey, if they're going to come this way, now we've got to put more guys out there. That way, if they do block one or two of our guys, we have more to help. That was the case there.
So they'll send a receiver down to the bottom of your screen. Again, this time they'll go the other direction. Rodriguez with the football. And he is knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. Coming from his secondary position was Nathan Cruz.
Yeah, the penetration there to try to, there was a block trying to be set out there. Watch it here. But look at the penetration. In other words, the blocker goes underneath, basically, pushes it back into the own runner, and so that'll stop that run.
So he'll lose 2 yards on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 11.
Well, you kind of feel the momentum starting to shift a little bit on this defense. We'll see how the Wildcats kind of handle this. That's going to be on the defense.
Yeah, they had 2 guys jump across the line of scrimmage. You know, you had Herrera in motion, which you can do.
Yeah.
And it's something they do a lot.
Yeah, they have quite a bit.
Offside, number 9 of the defense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Okay, so instead of 3rd and 11, it's 3rd and 6.
So that changes, right? A little closer to pick up a first down.
And with 8.5 to go, does this become 4-down territory?
It's a good question, right? Because the clock is running.
Not only that, but PSJA scored.
Yeah, it's twice already here in this half here. You're right. Bring up a good point.
Same formation for your Wildcats. They give it to Herrera, and he's tripped up.
Yeah, that kind of happened early on here because there was not a smooth exchange between Gonzalez and Herrera. You'll see it here on our replay. Watch, well, it looks like that's going to be a, did they get a flag? No, I just lost yardage on that one. Now it's a 4th and long, Joe. That changes things, right?
Yeah, they're going to have to punt it.
Yeah.
They do send Contreras out there.
Yeah, I think you were thinking if they get a little closer.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
they would have had a chance.
Had they gotten positive yards.
Yeah.
You know,
it was just a clean handoff, and really Jay never had a chance to kind of grab it properly. The timing was thrown off of it. And so 4th down now for the Wildcats. It looks like the play clock expired.
Well, they think they called the timeout before that.
Did they?
Delay game.
Oh, they did.
Number 0 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
You know, in this area,
it doesn't really hurt.
Yeah, I was going to say it doesn't really matter if you got to get away with a penalty. Maybe even it's a positive thing. You know, for a punter.
Low snap, but a good job by Contreras to pick it up off the turf. Gets it away, and it's a good Wildcat bounce inside the 30, 25, down to the 24-yard line where it's down.
So now we talked about adjustments, and the adjustments that Coach Gonzalez made and the rest of the Wolverines. At half, you have 14 points to show it. Now, this defense who has been playing fantastic as of just a few plays ago when they gave up these 14 points. can they kind of adjust? Can they, Coach Guzman and the rest of the staff here, say, okay, guys, this is what we're going to do. We got to slow things down. We've got 7:20 here. Let's get the ball back.
Don't give up the big play.
Right.
So Olvera in the backfield with Ramirez. They'll give him the ball, a high snap, but he's still able to find some room and gets the ball and runs about 10 yards.
This is happening right in the middle. Watch that offensive line go to work. You know, they're opening those lanes for them. And maybe this defense is, has been out there quite some time as well. We were talking about how much time they're spending out there. This offensive line, Enin Corteño and Emilio Gonzalez, Ulises Cubas, all those guys are starting to open up their own holes here.
Same play, Ramirez gonna give it to Olvera again, but inside trying to create some havoc was Derek Salinas, and he stalled him just enough to allow the rest of the black jerseys to come over.
Yeah, they had some other, Dominic Rincon was out there, but it looked like to try to make it a play, but this defense here for East is trying to slow the run down. They're trying their best to just, the big play is exactly it. We've seen 2 of them. Oh, the cheerleaders are...
The clock continues to move, and they're taking quite a bit of time to get this next play off.
Yeah.
I'm not saying to be in a 2-minute offense, but you're down 2 scores. You need to score and get the ball back.
Here you go, big pass play.
Knocked down by Gavin Melendez. What a great play. 3 black jerseys back there.
Well, I'd love to have seen an INT, but number 12, you did an excellent job, Gavin. Yeah, pulling that down. That's just as good because it doesn't count. They were trying to go for the big. Just you said it, Joe. Don't allow the big play. No, he was trying to get in position to catch it. Not in the best position, but good position to knock it down. Good job.
Yeah, he came across to help out on the coverage. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 9. 5:55 to go here in the 3rd. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Rolling out to his right. Into pressure is Munoz. He's got the quarterback, Ramirez. What a great job by Nehemias Munoz once again to get back there.
When they needed a key play on defense. 17, you can trust on. Watch him go back and then just never blew the whistle. I thought he was down as soon as he brought, the first time he brought him down. But the whistle wasn't blown till later. It wasn't until 3-4 jerseys came over. And that's going to bring a big 4th down. We're thinking about a stop that they needed. The Wildcats did it, 4th down.
So good play by the Wildcats. Defense, as you've been talking about, they've shown up the last couple of weeks, and they're showing up when they needed to today. Good punt away from Herrera, goes out of bounds. So that will bring it to the 5-minute mark here in the ball game. And the Wildcats are up 27-14.
What I would like to see here, this is just, I know a score would be perfect. That would give you insurance of all sorts of things. But if anything else, a nice long drive, deliberate drive, would be fantastic to see. It'd just be run that clock, maybe have PSJA start wearing some of their, using some of their timeouts, that kind of stuff would be positive. There's showing off the band member.
Some kind of picture.
Yeah, or just trying to take a picture of us. Is that what it is? No, too far. Yeah, congratulations. Hey, all parents are proud.
1st and 10, Wildcats ball at the 32-yard line. Power I formation for your Wildcats. Gonzalez under center, tosses it to Herrera. Herrera going wide. He's going to cut it up. He's got some moves. He's going to go across. He breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet. At the 40, at the 50. Watch out, Herrera is off to the races. Herrera is going to have his 4th touchdown of the night. A 68-yard touchdown run.
So much for wasting the clock. Let's just get points up there. What an outstanding run by Jay. Once he crossed over to the other side, I said, there's nobody out there. Watch him come back and see there's nothing there. Okay, guys, block for me. I'm going to go the other way, change my mind. And then when he cuts it here, and he beats that guy, there's nothing there.
Look who's out in front.
Yeah.
Gonzalez, the quarterback.
Gonzalez says, hey, I'll take you. Follow me, 22.
Extra point attempt on. Here's Alecos ready for it. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and the kick is good. We've got 4:40 left to go in this ball game, and the Wildcats have just extended their lead back to 20 points, 34-14. Jay Herrera has TD runs of 60, 54, 53, and 68.
Wow, what a night.
What a night, exactly.
He's going to be up for all sorts of awards next week when they start handing out the awards for outstanding player of the week. I mean, he's going to be right up there with everybody. He's that type of a night, and a lot of it, you know, he'll tell you it was the offensive line, but there's a few, just like the one we just saw, where he has to make something happen. You know, that's obviously some blocking there, but it's his speed, it's his ability to turn around and get around. You know?
And the one that happened right here in front of us, where you talked about his vision and his ability to shift.
Yep.
And we saw it all happen right here about the 35-40 yard line, where he was watching the guy come up and he took a step, planted, and cut it back in because he saw the momentum coming this way of the defender. You know, things that just good running backs know how to do.
And the thing about it, you have to think about, he ran across from one side of the field to one, and then he reversed back to the other side. You know how many yards he's running back
50 yards.
Way too many. You know, but that tells you what type of athlete he is. That's the point I'm trying to make, that he makes it look easy. The good ones usually do.
That's going to be Rivera with the return. He's got some room, and he finally just falls down because he had a Wildcat looking right at him, and that was Robert Oviedo.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to make a decision whether, you know, I've gotten enough. Let's start here. You know, sometimes you make that decision. Sometimes you say, I'm going to put my head down and see if I can get 2 or 3 more yards. And I guess the 30 was enough, and that's where they're going to start their possession. Now they got to go fast. Now they got to score as fast as the Wildcats are scoring. Now this is a point fest now. They're just getting points all over the place.
4:31 left to go. 1st and 10. Wolverines at their own 30-yard line. Rolling out to his left is Ramirez. He's got a receiver. It is caught by De La Rosa, and they stop his forward progress on the field of play, so the clock will move.
But it has some time.
Well, they stop it to move the chains.
Yep.
But then it'll start right now.
He had some time in the backfield to kind of set his feet and get the ball across, 1st down.
I guess he did make it out of bounds.
Yep.
This time Ramirez looking to run the other way, gets rid of the ball, didn't have his feet planted because he was under all kinds of pressure. Wanted to get it out there to Olvera, but also defensively was Oviedo.
Yeah, that's the majority of the night is what you've seen right there. That's if you wonder what has been the issue when your quarterback, Ramirez, has an opportunity to set his feet, look at the offense, and get the ball there, he can do it. But unfortunately, if you're a Wolverine fan, the Wildcats have figured that out, and they're coming every single play.
4:19, 2nd down and 10. Ramirez gets rid of it quickly, gets it into the hands of De La Rosa, dragged out of bounds by Flores.
Clock continues to run here. Well, they stopped it at 4:09. Like you mentioned, Joe, it'll stop for a minute. They'll set it up here. Here's a quick pass. So the way you kind of adjust that, and that's been an adjustment by Coach Gonzalez, how do you stop this defense from being so aggressive? Just take 1 or 2 step drop and throw it. You know, you have no time for the defense to get there. That's another way of kind of adjusting your offense. See if that continues.
They'll send 3 receivers to the right. Ramirez will run that direction, and Nehemias Munoz comes and sacks him. But it was all set up by the pressure that forced him to move up in the pocket, and Munoz was right there.
When he's doing this, you're focused on trying to survive, and this happens.
Yeah, Padilla forced him to go up the field, and then Munoz finished it off.
Yeah, you're no longer paying attention to your receivers down the field. You're just trying to survive so they don't, you don't get crushed in the backfield by these blitzing linebackers, Padilla and a bunch of other guys, Munoz, that are coming. So when he rolls out, he has no time, but when he gets it quick out of his hands, does.
2nd and 12, 3.5 to go. Gets rid of it quickly again. De La Rosa out there, knocked down by Flores again.
A nice pitch and catch. There, Andrew De La Rosa has been the go-to guy out here. Watch him roll out, and then he's got to get rid of it quick. Because if he doesn't, then the trouble comes. So he's got about 2 seconds, maybe 3, to get rid of the ball, and then that's it.
Yeah,
somebody's going to be visiting you with black numbers and bad intentions too.
They did pick up the first down. 3:10 left to go in this one. Wolverines moving the ball down the field, and they quick it out to the hands of Olvera. Olvera is going to be brought down by Oviedo.
Kind of stayed in bounds, but picks up a first down, so that'll stop the clock. We said they needed to move fast. Well, they're moving fast. Yeah, I saw a hole there too.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, on Padilla.
Yeah,
he was lifting his hands up like, hey, wait a minute now.
Yeah, I was pointing it out to you on the monitor on the replay there because I saw that all the way.
During regular time, you got to see it, huh? Yeah.
Yep. 1st and 10 Wolverines. Pressure being applied. Getting rid of it quickly is Ramirez, trying to get it to the direction of Matthew Garza, but just could not plant his feet.
Yeah, the time hasn't been there, you know, and when it's not, that's exactly what happens. Look, count 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and then that's it. You see that? That black jersey's there. So you don't have very much time to plant your feet or to even consider throwing to another receiver. You're having to process things too quickly.
Clock will stop on the incomplete pass with 2:39 to go. Timeout being called on the field. It is a 2nd down and 10.
Weslaco East High School.
Weslaco East.
That is their first time out of the half.
Wants to make sure that they've got the right personnel on the field.
If anything else, catch a breather. This offense for the Wolverines here in this drive has been moving quickly. There you go, the superintendent of the schools, Mr. Rivera.
Yeah, Dr. Rivera.
You know, he was my high school principal in high school. Yeah, I know him as my principal, your superintendent. Now that's who he is, supporting the Wildcats this evening. There you go. Nice to see you, sir. Look at everybody waving in the back.
All the kids hanging out here.
Everybody's hanging out. Everybody's like, hey, I'm going to put my one up. Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think this timeout was perfect for the Wildcats. You said besides making sure they've got the right personnel and the right thing, I think they were a bit gassed. I mean, to be honest with you, this Wolverine team would just kind of just coming and coming and coming, you know, and then just sometimes it gets you tired.
Yeah, you get a little hydration in it as well.
Yeah, that's always a good one.
And then you'll get another timeout at the 2-minute mark.
Yeah, just around the corner, so that'll help. Both teams, really.
Right. So 2nd down and 10 for the Wolverines. Ball at about the 12-yard line. Empty backfield for Ramirez. Hit as he tries to get rid of the ball.
Watch out, cheerleaders. The ball's coming.
What?
The Memorial cheerleaders are all out there waiting to meet their Wolverines in the end zone, but
Daniel Padilla.
The
Look at him.
Wildcats. We told you 3 seconds. That was inaccurate. That was more like 2. You see the pressure that's coming, and then it just doesn't give you any time.
Yeah, Padilla got in there untouched.
Yeah.
So that's why he was able to get in there so quickly. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 10. 2:34 left in this one. Wildcats up 34-14. Hand the ball off to Oviedo. Oviedo hit. Going to be brought down after only about a 2-yard gain. However, there are some flags on the field. My guess is that's going to be a holding.
You might have seen Gianni Morales on that one. Let me double check. Number 23. Yeah, number 23. I think they gave Olvera a breather. They brought in number 23 Gianni Morales. It looks like, but it's going to be it's not going to count. I think it's going to be against the Wolverines, or maybe not. We'll see.
Holding.
Here.
Number 74, the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 3rd down.
Yeah, they snuck in Gianni Morales, the running back.
Yeah, it came in from the umpire where he was positioned. That's why I said it could only be holding.
Yeah. Interesting, in talking to Coach Gonzalez, he mentioned Gianni Morales was their starter the couple of first 2 games until Olvera, who was nursing an injury, hadn't really played until the Mackay game. But that's interesting where you have 2 running backs that can give you, the balance you need. And we'll see if they keep Morales or they keep. Yeah, they are going to keep him out there. They're going to throw deep.
And that is in and out of the hands of Matthew Garza.
He's just trying to stretch as much as possible. Just couldn't get it underneath him. Nice pass, though. You got to give it to quarterback here. Look at where he places it. Just trying to stretch out there. And, Ooh. That had 6 points written all over it.
And we are at the 2-minute mark.
That is the 2-minute timeout.
So they call it the 2-minute timeout. They don't call it a 2-minute warning.
Yeah.
And so right at the 2-minute mark, and there'll be a timeout on the field. Wildcats up 34-14. So when we come back to live action, it'll be 4th down after that incomplete pass in the end zone. Teams coming back onto the field after the 2-minute timeout. 4th down and 20 for the Wolverines. Ball at the 23-yard line. Wildcats going to be off next week.
Yeah, they're going to need it. They I know talking to the coaches, they have nicks and bruises. It's been a physical season to start, so you can always take it, right? Rest as much as you can.
Ramirez takes the snap, drops back, looking to screen. He does, gets it. And the Wolverines have a new guy on the field, Brandon Perez.
Yeah, Brandon Perez, the senior defensive lineman. He was in on a play earlier in the game as a fullback. Coaches like his speed. He says, you know, he's one of these guys that can play defense, but he can also catch the ball. Watch the screen. A bigger back than you're used to seeing. Picks up a, what is it, a first down?
No.
No? Is it close?
No, it's going to go over on downs to the Wildcats. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering if they were even going to be close with it. Looked like it was a nice gain, but
yeah, they gained about 13.
Okay.
But they needed 20.
Okay. All right.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. The Wolverines have 2 timeouts. I'm not sure if they're going to want to use those. Wildcats just come out in victory formation.
Yeah, at this point, I think I agree with that. I think you just kind of take a knee, and if they want to use the timeouts, then you go right ahead. But at this point, it's with a minute 48, it doesn't really do much. You're too far behind and too much out of time to do anything at this point. So yeah, you were mentioning they'll have a bye week, which comes in at a perfect time. The coach is talking about, hey, we need to rest up and heal up some of these early injuries. All teams have them, but you know, it's good that you have the break now. They'll have some time to consider the rest of the season, and that'll be good for the Wildcats.
Yeah, because it doesn't get very easy after this. They got to travel to Corpus Christi, take on Flower Bluff.
Yeah, that's always a tough game for anybody. You know, it doesn't matter if it's a Valley team or a team from Corpus or a team from Austin. It doesn't matter. They've over the years they've shown to be a team that is always ready and prepared, and they always have a successful team. This year is no different. So all teams have to go in this district of 16-5A have to go play. Obviously, still on the horizon. PSJA North is still coming up. Harlingen South is another team that has looked well, even though got to see game last night between Harlingen South. And who was it they were playing? I'm forgetting it, but it was a district game.
There is no foul for illegal man downfield. The ball was caught in the neutral zone. The end of the run is short of the line to gain. So it's going to be Weslaco East ball.
See, Harlingen South didn't put up too many points. They survived last night, against Rivera. That's good.
Right.
So these games were all important in this district. So Harlingen South continues. Rivera put up a great fight. A much improved team, by the way, in Rivera. Put up a good fight against Harlingen South. And then, of course, other teams that are coming up just around the corner. Corpus Christi Veterans and others. A lot of football to be played, but at least your Wildcats after this week, it looks like they're going to be 2-0 in district.
Yeah, you talk about Rivera. They got them right after Flower Bluff.
Yeah, a much improved team.
Rodriguez, the ball carrier, wide open, and he's got a lot of green in front of him. looking to take on a defender, Christian Rivera, realized he wasn't going to outrun him, so let me just outdo him.
Yeah, you know, if my buddy Jay Herrera has a lot of yards, hey, wait a minute, I don't want to stay too behind. Let me go ahead and pick up my own thing. Again, the big hole doesn't get touched until, you know, 30, 40 yards down the field, where Christian Rivera had to come down and chase him. That'll take a big chunk out of the clock.
That might put Rodriguez over 100 yards as well.
Yep.
Because he's had a couple of good runs. They'll give him the ball again, and he's got another big hole across midfield, down inside the 40 to the 38-yard line.
It's just the hole is there, and you go through it, and you pick up positive yardage. I mean, it's right there in the middle. See that? Nobody's there. So what do? You keep running.
Just run.
Yeah, you keep running until they decide to tackle. It will be 20 yards down the field, 25 yards down the field, but so be it.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. Under a minute to go, and now it's victory formation for the Wildcats. They'll probably have to snap it one more time.
Yeah, it looks like it, right? They might have to do it. It's a big win for the Weslaco Wildcats. Boy, they started coming in hot. The defense played exceptional. They gave up 14 points after an adjustment. The adjustments were made at the half. But again, this defense all night has not given any Wolverine player, or in this case their quarterback, a chance to sit down and try to even make a comeback. Excellent play continues by this Wildcat defense.
Well, that's going to be the last play that officially needs to be run. Now we've got 14 seconds to get this one officially final. I want to thank all the crew here at K-West for a great job putting the production together. I want to thank you, Football Fred, for joining me in the broadcast here tonight.
No, thank you for the opportunity. It's been fun to watch this Wildcat team, man. They're one resilient bunch. I can't wait to see what holds here for the future for this Wildcat team.
Well, that buzzer you just heard has made this game officially final. Your Weslaco Wildcats defeat the PSJA Memorial Wolverines. The final score in this one, your Wildcats 34, the Wolverines 15. As you mentioned right now, Fred, the Wildcats do improve to 2-0 in district play. They have the week off. They get to lick the wounds and just heal up and prepare for Flower Bluff. Those Hornets have always been difficult year in, year out. And as you were mentioning, Rivera's much improved, and the following week they have them. And then you've got Veterans Memorial out of Corpus Christi, and then you've got Harlingen South as well, and PSJA North. So it doesn't get any easier.
Yep. Should be a fun season here for the Wildcats, and they're faithful, no doubt. But a big win for Coach Brigette and the rest of the Wildcats tonight.
Well, once again, want to congratulate the Wildcats as they improved to 2-0, defeating the Wolverines of PSJA. The final score in this one, your Weslaco Wildcats 34, the Wolverines of PSJA Memorial 14. Don't go anywhere, folks, because in just a few, we will have the post-game show with Mike and Carlos, and of course, several of our Wildcats who had great nights tonight. Once again, good night from Texas National Bank Field at Bobby Lackey Stadium, where once again your Wildcats improved to 2-0 as they defeat the Wolverines. Final score, your Weslaco Wildcats 34, the Wolverines 14. We'll see you in 2 weeks out of Corpus Christi as your Wildcats travel up the coast to take on Flower Bluff.